Yeah, my name is Dennis. I've been doing fentanyl for some years now, for about 3, 4 years, 5 years, here in San Francisco. It's an unseen thing, like unseen force that's taking over Frisco, I think. Everybody on hype, on Fetty, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's doing Fetty. It's the fad now.
Do you use any of the harm reduction services they offer out here?
Yeah, I use them. I use them to get what I need, get my foil, get my tutors, get my shit, you know what I'm saying?
Have you tried to get clean before?
Nah, I haven't. I haven't tried to get clean.
Do you want to?
Yeah. Yeah.
What the fuck? Hey, what happened? What happened? What happened?
Out on camera, a carjacking in San Francisco in broad daylight.
Why is that Prius speeding away backwards?
A group doing interviews for a web show saw a food delivery driver pull up to a restaurant to pick up a pizza. The driver left his car running. Someone hopped in and sped off backwards.
Sir!
And just like that, within 90 seconds of being in San Francisco, I witnessed open-air fentanyl use, a carjacking, and ended up on the nightly news.
Hello, my name is Andrew Callahan, and you're about to watch our documentary, San Francisco Streets, our most in-depth project yet, which explores a variety of issues such as homelessness, shoplifting, gentrification, harm reduction, city history, zoning laws, fentanyl, and so forth. We're going to be talking to cops, drug dealers, local vigilantes, professional shoplifters, harm reduction workers, pimps, and beyond. Some of the footage ahead may be disturbing to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised. Okay, back to the streets.
The victim yelling for help as a YouTuber tries to interview him.
That guy just went in and grabbed a DoorDash order, and then he ran out when he saw his car get jacked. It happens that fast.
Thankfully, the delivery driver's Prius was found a few blocks away 30 minutes later.
Minutes later, officers arrested 52-year-old Kara Holcomb.
But by then, cell phone footage of the incident had gone viral,
There's a lot of chaos happening in one video. For example,
racking up millions of views and tens of thousands of comments. It would be a Prius. San Francisco is gayer than shit. If a nuke dropped on California, I would actually be happy. You get what you vote for. Thanks, Biden. Thank God I live in Florida. Why is that Jew all gas, no brakes with?
Fam, you're cheesing me. Is this shit staged?
I was amused, but also puzzled. I mean, how did that video go viral so fast? And who recorded it?
The man who posted this video, Richie Wynn, is a San Francisco native.
I'm telling you, it's always wild down here, raw. The crime has gotten out of control. I felt like they had empathy.
The man who recorded the video was named Richie Wynn, a former cocaine dealer who got caught with a couple 8-balls during COVID and came out of jail sober. Nowadays, he works at a nightclub and films something called the Ciroc Challenge.
Hey, go!
And sometimes, just sometimes, goes on Fox News.
So Richie used to deal drugs. What's your solution to all this?
Not to discuss bottle service, but rather to discuss his other videos, which basically consist of him confronting homeless people on the sidewalk.
What you smoking, man? What you guys doing out here? You shooting up right in here, bro? Is that some crack, mama? You want to do that in front of the kids, man? Clean that shit up, bro. That shit's ugly, bro. My name's Richie Wynn. Basically, I'm kind of like a video vigilante, if you will. I'm kind of taking it into my own hands to film some of the things that I feel like are plaguing the city, mainly the drug use. Hey, bro, you know people got kids and stuff like that. You out here rolling up heroin or fentanyl? You can't be doing that right here. Have a little fucking respect, man, for people that pay rent. I don't think the children should have to see it because it's grotesque. A lot of it is, it's harsh to see. It is very gruesome. Some of these individuals are suffering from also mental illness and picking away at themselves. They are shooting drugs in their neck. They are screaming about obscenities that can be triggering to somebody that is frail and is still developing. I gotta stop smoking that shit in front of the kids, man. You got the kids right here, man. What the fuck you say, man? Arrest these individuals. Take them into custody. This bus stop right here it's the 14 mission. Last year, I shot a viral video. A group of school children were getting off of that bus right there. Bye, kids. Y'all get home safe, okay? And they had to wade their way through this kind of mess that you're seeing right here, which is like an open-air drug market, you know, people using, people selling. Countless people have seen it. Numerous news outlets have used it.
For Richie, filming San Francisco's decay is a steady side hustle. Last year, Fox News spent $1.6 billion on licensing fees. Essentially, that means acquiring the rights to content, usually scary, juicy content, engineered to generate maximum outrage and piss off their core demographic to bring more eyes to cable TV, which is a dying platform.
Yay, we get active. Democrats approve of racial violence.
And in just this year alone, Fox News has licensed over a dozen of Richie's clips. It's not clear how much they pay Richie per video, but his work has been featured in multiple primetime segments. Here's a couple examples.
When I was a kid, my biggest worry in school was forgetting my locker combo. Now these kids in San Francisco have this. Homeless drug addicts, after getting off the school bus, who the heck thought this was a good idea?
In San Francisco, junkies have more rights than you do, because liberalism spreads worse than a virus from a Chinese lab.
And for the politicians that argue the fact that they think San Francisco is safe right now, go down to Civic Center and pull out your camera phone, and I guarantee you will be met with some type of violence or some type of disgruntled individual. You don't need to be smoking drugs. There's children that live in this building right here.
Fuck off, bitch. It's a free country, asshole.
So maybe you should take it somewhere else.
Please stop getting this off of me.
Come on, bro. Leave her alone, bro.
Take me, bro.
Who the fuck you think you talking to, punk? It's an ecosystem that has thrived off of the illegal drug trade, the lax laws for stealing and reselling stolen goods. Oh yeah, the shoplifting is wild.
Recent high-profile cases of organized retail theft have cast an ugly pall on cities like San Francisco.
You know, I've seen the people come in, take whatever off the shelves, and just walk right out of it.
More than a dozen Walgreens stores have shuttered. Target has limited its hours.
It was happening so much here at this Whole Foods that's in my building that they had to shut down. The employees didn't feel safe. The place was only open for a year. Oh, it was only open for a year, and this was their flagship store. It was a gorgeous store.
She's allowed to drugs on the street. I gotta go to work every day and walk through shit. People nodding over, dying. That's some sucker shit.
Yeah.
What's up, man?
What's up, dog?
How you doing?
How you doing out here, bro?
I'm living the best I can. Unfortunately, I'm living these mean streets.
Yeah.
Still alive.
You've been doing drugs and shit?
Absolutely. It's the life we live.
What's your drug of choice?
Crack cocaine. No, I'm kidding. Fentanyl.
How long have you been doing that for?
About a year.
What do you think made you want to first get into it?
I'm opiate dependent. I've been dependent on opiates since I was 16. Broke my leg, broke my ankle. I've been doing Percocets, Oxycontin, Big Pharma. You know, it's the biggest reason why a lot of people are addicted to these opiates, you know.
The Sackler family is one of the richest families in America. The source of that wealth was, for many years, Oxycontin, the addictive painkiller considered one of the initial sparks for the nation's opioid crisis, a crisis that has already left more than 450,000 Americans dead and continues today.
I'm dependent on it, you know. Without it, I don't function as well, you know.
How'd you break your leg?
Fighting, actually. I was in a fight, yeah. 16, 17, high school, yeah, freshman year, sophomore year. My sister was making out with some fucking roid rager, so I swung on him, and my buddy grabbed me. I don't know what happened. My ankle ended up getting snapped on the stair.
Have you tried to, quit before?
Yeah, I did about two and a half years this last run. Had my life together, and I ended up hurting my back in the job, working in construction over in Livermore. Relapsed and got evicted. Lived in my van. It became real once I lost my van. It's a trip. So my goal is to try to stay alive and stay, you know, I don't want to die before my mom, you know what I mean? That's my biggest goal. Is she shouldn't have to bury her son.
Where's your mom at now?
North Carolina.
When's the last time you talked to her?
7 years, 5, 7 years. It's been a while. I'm 30. I turned 38.
Does she know you're out here?
No one does. Hi, Dad. Hi, Mom. If you see me, I'm still alive. I know I look like shit. Lost all my teeth, but that was in, you know, I got in a fight. I got jumped, so.
Honestly, bro, you don't look that bad.
Thank you.
Yeah. How do you get money?
The boost in life, as you can see.
Oh, shit. Fresh licks.
Said fresh licks, you said. We got stuff to get by. Stay warm. Got some shirts. Got my Ben & Jerry's. You know what I mean?
How do you typically resell the shit that you boost?
It sells itself. Everyone loves a good deal. I know it's not a good thing to do, but it is what it is. It's our life. We could be doing worse things. A lot of these big companies are all fucking write-offs anyways.
Ice cream, how much for the ice cream? I want the ice cream.
$3 for that one.
What flavor is it? What flavor is it? Yo, I haven't tried that one. Send it. I got 3 right now. I'm gonna eat it right fucking now once I give him the cigarettes.
It is what it is. It's either that or I starve tonight. It's all around shitty. It's not fun. You know what I mean? I'd rather work. This shit's harder than you think. You know.
Ice cream's more addicting than fentanyl. I'm not gonna lie. If fentanyl didn't make me dope sick, I would be more addicted to ice cream. I think once I'm done and sober from fentanyl, I'm still gonna be addicted to ice cream.
San Francisco's locking up their ice cream.
Yeah, so what happened to the ice cream, bro?
We had to lock the shit up because they came in here, they started stealing all kind of shit. They came in trash bags, and that's like every night, too.
So I say this, not only to the Democrats that we have to fix this problem, but I'll say it to the Republicans as well. We're handling... We're handling...
Hey, bad bitch alert.
Woo! Y'all, what's happening? What's happening? My birth certificate say female, and it do say San Francisco, but I'm homeless.
Oh. Can we talk to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. So how you doing, Andrew? Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Okay, so my name is Miss J. Vera Williams. The last corporate job I had was Ted Baker as a senior manager in 2022. I'm making $2,700 every 2 weeks, and that's still not being enough to, number one, solidify safe housing and to live off of.
How much do you think you need a month to survive well in San Francisco?
$5,000. But I'm a person that would categorize under high priority, consider I have HIV. And I live at a SRO, so it's basically like temporary housing until they find new housing.
Due to having HIV, Miss J. Williams qualifies for San Francisco's Single Room Occupancy, or SRO program, which provides at-risk, unhoused people with access to low-cost housing, usually in 8 by 10-foot rooms, in one of the many dilapidated residential hotels in the Tenderloin neighborhood for up to 30 days.
The city calls single-room occupancy buildings, or SROs, the last housing option before homelessness.
Currently, 15,000 people live in SROs in San Francisco, and their average monthly rent is $895.
I just moved there, but I was twice physically assaulted 4 times due to being trans.
What, do you want, a room at the Four Seasons?
I don't want a room at the Four Seasons. I just want a room that's safe. I got bit by a pit bull last week. I just got out the hospital from literally somebody saying in the Latino dialect, "Get that," and their pit bull biting me on my ankle.
Well, that's just because, you know, San Francisco's just gotten out of hand. Where are you from?
I'm from here.
You're from San Francisco?
Yeah, my father's. I'm from Fillmore, Hazen Central. I pay cash money for these titties.
Hell yeah, how much?
$30,043. I Lloyd's have banks or something like that. Lord, this is like real deal Holyfield, and it's a crock of shit. You cannot open a door to nowhere. You can't open no door. Like, I could have bought a house. I could be opening a door. I couldn't be on these streets right now.
Yeah.
You could buy these titties later when you buy your house and you're gonna finish your education.
That's the message to the kids. Wait to buy titties after getting the master's degree.
Please, all that Botox and Rotox and Kim Kardashian, please wait. Education, spirituality, and really doing the work every day. Go fund me, y'all, Miss J. Williams.
San Francisco, California. Frisco. Some people say the Paris of the West.
A gold rush boomtown that began in the late 1800s after the discovery of the Comstock lode sent millions of Americans headed west.
An explosion of migration from the ends of the earth.
For a while, shit was going pretty good. Until 1906, when a horrific earthquake came and destroyed 80% of the city, taking 7,000 lives.
San Francisco is gone.
A lot of people thought Frisco was done for good, but they were totally wrong.
San Francisco was rebuilt.
By the mid-century, it became the epicenter of counterculture. First, the beatniks, then the beat poets, then the hippie movement kicked off, which brought over 100,000 self-described flower children to the Haight-Ashbury, aka Hashbury neighborhood, to do acid and hang out. And it wasn't just San Francisco. Across the Bay, the Hells Angels were going strong. The Black Panther Party was becoming more powerful than ever. And a young journalist named Hunter S. Thompson was getting his start. The SF innovation wave just kept rolling. A couple years later, Burning Man begins on Baker Beach. The People's Temple begins in the Fillmore District. And the Castro District emerged as a mecca for gay men, with the rise of local leaders like Harvey Milk.
We are coming out of the closet!
And then one smart guy named Steve Jobs had a pretty bright idea. Macintosh, the foundational tech company that led to the boom of Silicon Valley, which brought over 1,000 tech companies to the Bay Area in just 5 years.
Bay Area, Silicon Valley, and
Yahoo, eBay, Dell.
Dell built a desktop just for me.
Intel. Microsoft.
I'm Bill Gates.
Facebook.
Hey, how's it going? This is our first live video.
Twitter. By 2019, San Francisco's GDP rose to $534.56 billion, making it the 8th largest economy in the entire world. Good news? Not really.
Everything that you think that it is really not what it is.
344% rent hike.
Neil has been paying $1,800 a month rent, but his landlady recently informed him she was raising the rent to $8,000 a month.
San Francisco is a fucked up place.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
It's impossible to live here. The rent is rising, minimum wage is the same, no parking. If you get a parking ticket, nigga, that's a whole check right there. Rent is high, food is high, tickets is high, minimum wage is the same. You need to work 3 jobs just to live in a 1-bedroom in Zombieland.
We can't afford to live here. I'm born and raised here and I can't even afford to live here, but I do hard work, you know, trapping.
Welcome to San Francisco.
A little bit of bipping here and there.
Oh, shit.
And I make do. I make do with what I do. So you could have a job in the city, but you need other forms of income. So you need to hustle up something. You need to be doing 3 or 4 other things to survive in this city. You cannot just have one job. It's impossible, unless you're like a lawyer, you work in tech, or you would trick.
Within just 10 years, rent in San Francisco nearly tripled, while the minimum wage remained the same, leading to a mass exodus of native San Franciscans.
You got San Franciscans moving to like Vegas, Texas, New York, Atlanta.
And a mass influx of what are colloquially known as tech bros. This created quite a few problems. For one, many of these tech bros had no cultural or family connection to the city. Plus, they weren't really there to stay. For example, the average residency for a Twitter or Facebook employee in San Francisco is 9 to 12 months, and many of them were bussed in and out of the city by private charter buses.
San Francisco, not for sale.
These people angry at what they see as growing income inequality in the city.
Now, before we continue, I'd like to mention that San Francisco's gentrification was not explicitly a direct result of tech. In an ideal world, big tech actually could have been good for the city, but the real culprit here is insane zoning regulations imposed by a group of lobbyists called the NIMBYs. NIMBY stands for Not in My Backyard.
NIMBYs in cities like San Francisco are essentially importing suburban expectations and land use controls into central cities.
So geographically, San Francisco is actually a pretty small area, which is not that densely populated. And many of the old school upper income neighborhoods like Nob Hill and Pacific Heights, which is home to the Pelosi family,
Drop the hammer.
are within walking distance to the commercial heart of the downtown area. So, when big tech began to arrive, bringing in hundreds of thousands of new young professionals, residents of these neighborhoods became very concerned about the potential construction of high-density apartment buildings, particularly with how this would cause noise pollution with the sounds of jackhammers and forklifts and beyond, but also how the buildings might block their view of the city or the bay. So neighbors of these wealthy areas would get together every time a high-density development was proposed and say, "Not in my backyard," and they would lobby to get their neighborhoods protected under historical preservation status.
Marking a building, corridor, or neighborhood as historic is one tool NIMBYs can use to embalm a neighborhood while feeling good about themselves. They're defending the cultural and historic character of the place.
While this did serve to preserve traditional San Francisco aesthetics, it also basically froze urban development during the city's largest economic boom in history, causing home values to skyrocket and rent to rise far beyond what the median monthly income was. As a result,
San Francisco experienced the most intense gentrification in American history. Black population shrunk from 14.5% to 6% of the city, and the poverty line rose so high that households making under $117,000 per year are considered to be low income.
If you're a San Francisco city girl like me, born and raised, it's too crowded here now. It's too much.
Very quickly, the creative class was replaced by the professional class, leaving vast subsections of the city utterly swagless. Still, California politicians didn't care. They wanted exponential growth, and for a while, it was happening. Then, in early 2020, a very hungry man allegedly ate a pangolin at a wet market in Wuhan, China, which ultimately prompted these tech companies to vacate all of their San Francisco offices in favor of a work-from-home model. At some point, these mega corporations like Twitter and Facebook figured out you can make just as much money, if not more money, having employees work from home. Not to mention, according to a recent study, employee happiness has increased by over 20% since remote work began as the industry standard for tech.
We're more productive at home, we're happier at home, we're doing what the company asks of us.
They were happier, healthier, and they realized something.
You know, you couldn't move anywhere and keep your Bay Area money. You know, you couldn't move anywhere and keep your Bay Area money.
Now working from home, hundreds of thousands of new San Francisco transplants had to make a choice. Should we stay in this extremely expensive, unwelcoming city full of homeless people and locals who don't like us and see us as walking emblems of oppression and displacement? Or keep the exact same job and move to somewhere like Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, where you can afford a gorgeous mountain home for the same price as a studio apartment in the Castro district? Most Californians in this position picked option 2 and got the hell out of town. So even after California reopened in early 2021,
you want the economy to reopen permanently.
These tech workers and the companies who employ them were like, man, fuck that, we're not going back to San Francisco. And some of these companies realized that emerging AI technology would allow them to cut their workforce in half.
150,000 tech workers have been laid off in 2022 alone.
We regret to inform you your position has been impacted.
I called my boss back and we just sobbed over the phone.
It's a Twitter bloodbath. Nearly 4,000 fired in one fell swoop. Half the global workforce. Twitter is not alone. Mass layoffs are happening across the tech world.
I take full responsibility for this decision.
The economy of San Francisco was collapsing in real time. Not to mention, homelessness nearly doubled during COVID. And politics aside, crime was on the rise.
As the city of San Francisco deals with the shocking, high-profile murder of tech executive Bob Lee, a greater question emerges. Who wants to live here anymore?
Yeah, out of pocket. I knock a nigga out his socket. I don't give a fuck if you won't get out of pocket. I'm not the one to motherfucking fuck with. I don't give a fuck, nigga. Yeah, I'll pull up with the switch. I'm on Cedar Block on the TL, so nigga, what you mean?
For this combination of reasons, over half of San Francisco's recently built luxury apartment buildings and giant office buildings are completely vacant right now. They're actually for sale.
It is becoming the next Detroit almost.
General Motors, Ford and Chrysler. It was a golden era of full employment for a triumphant America.
As they grew and they became multinational companies.
Detroit lost 200,000 inhabitants between 1950 and 1960.
To where these tech industries have pulled out, just like the car industries pulled out of there, and we're starting to be left with like a shell of our great city. And now it's debilitated and shut down into something that is never going to be able to get rented out again. All those tents out there, they're able-bodied individuals. They're being told that they shouldn't be working and they can collect general assistance and they can stay home and play on their phone. It's ridiculous. We need to start encouraging people to get back out to the workforce. We need to start making, that like a requirement. And these individuals that are coming here from Salt Lake City, Boise, Idaho, all these other places that San Francisco are putting a strain on our services. If they're gonna come here to San Francisco, you need to be working. You can't just come here and just mooch off the taxpayers. That is ridiculous. So
there's ads online for people to come from other parts of the country to come here and get shelter.
Where are you from, sir?
Money. I'm from Montana.
He's from Montana. See?
Yeah, but I didn't come here for that. I live here and I work and I got a job and I got a girlfriend and we do drugs, but we're not robbing cars or fucking sucking off the city, or shitting on the sidewalk.
See, so there you go. There you have it, Montana. We're taking in your drug addicts as well. All this strain is getting put on my city, and that's why I'm a San Francisco nationalist. I really want what's good for San Francisco.
You have companies that used to have 4 buildings in San Francisco that now have 1 floor, and so all the infrastructure that's been built for this high pay is now sort of collapsing. And then to say that the reason that San Francisco isn't doing well is because of poor people living on the street who use drugs. It's not real. It's a red herring. We just did a street assessment here in the Mission, and 73% of the people that we spoke to were previously employed and housed, okay? Where were they working? They're working in janitorial jobs, in those office buildings. All of those businesses have changed their modality, especially those, you talk about downtown being closed. Well, downtown used to employ hundreds, thousands of people who were working in low-level, entry-level jobs, as janitors, as, all the things that supported that business. Well, there's no one in those buildings.
Much like the gold tycoons who pillaged the West for its resources centuries ago, only to leave behind ghost towns that mark the Wild West, big tech has essentially used San Francisco as a playground for over 2 decades, and now has left behind an overpriced shell of a once great American metropolis. Anyways, the story of corporate greed is typically left out of the San Francisco conversation.
All you seem to hear about on TV is that San Francisco is an apocalyptic third world wasteland.
Brazen crime taking a huge toll on America's most progressive city.
Full of fentanyl, petty crime, graffiti, and so forth.
People are being shot, stabbed, beaten, brutalized, and they fornicate and they defecate and they do everything.
Is this true or is this cap? Let's go find out.
So my name is Tracy McCrae. I'm currently the president of San Francisco Police Officers Association. I've been a cop, it's gonna be almost 34 years.
Is crime on the rise here?
Certain types of crime are on the rise. So robberies, right? They are up about 12 to 15%. I mean, don't walk around with your cell phone out because it's finna get snatched. So Prop 47 lowered the threshold for certain crimes like petty theft, right?
Prop 47, it reduces certain drug and theft crimes from felony charges to misdemeanors.
Before, if you stole anything over $400, that would be a felony charge. Well, Prop 47, so now you can steal up to $949.99 and you just get a ticket if you're caught. It's a citation, so it's akin to you running a stop sign, I pull you over and I give you a traffic citation. And you're either one of two people, you're like, oh shit, I got a ticket, or you're like, I don't give a shit. Back in November of, 2022, people just ransacked into the Louis Vuitton and just made off. That made national news.
Stunning video. This is going viral in San Francisco. Brazen thieves emptied out the Louis Vuitton store in Union Square.
So not a good look for the city, because we would love for people to come here and visit and spend their money, because tourism has always been our bread and butter.
Welcome to the most beautiful city in the world. San Francisco, I don't mean Frisco. San Francisco, here I go.
But unfortunately this past week, they hit Burberry, they hit Fendi, they hit Gucci.
Lieutenant McCrae was making one thing clear. There was a massive organized retail boosting squad that was currently active in the immediate vicinity of Union Square. So I walked around Union Square and tried to find someone who might know something. Within 15 minutes, I identified the culprits. The Finesse Mall Gang, a graffiti and shoplifting crew known for spray painting public buses and stealing shit from Union Square.
Anybody could go to the store, grab some shit, and run out. It's about technique. It's how you do it. There's a lot going on though. You got the drug sales. You got motherfuckers getting shot, car burglaries. You know, you name it. That's what's going on. That's how we get it, man. That's all we know. Getting it out the mud, getting out these dirty streets. Tenderloin, but we all locked in over here, man. We got face car valid all through these trenches.
How'd that make you feel?
Man, I'm ready to do it again.
Y'all can cover the face on this one, right? Yeah, of course,
Okay,
bro.
sick.
Is that a good, adrenaline booster?
Yeah, absolutely. My heart pumps.
Hey, look, let's go over here with it.
You got the cops right there, you feel me?
Hi, Channel 5.
Hi, Channel 5. How do you guys make your money and support yourself out here?
Hey, look, before all these niggas was doing this run out the store shit, we was walking out the store. We was having them say, y'all have a good day. Finesse them all, that's what it is, man. It's FBA shit, man.
If you were to guess, how much merchandise do you think you've been able to boost numerically in the past couple years?
Oh, God, everything, bro.
Probably like a 100 ball, maybe a little more than a 100 ball. You know what I'm saying? A little more than a 100 ball. 100,000. Yeah, 100,000.
Hey, look, there's not a shop in Union Square that we haven't hit for at least 10 bands. All them designer stores, Montclair, Louis, Gucci, Sunglasses Hut. We was smacking them, bro.
I used to go to the Apple store and take the motherfucking display phones, bro. It's called Gorilla Boosting, bro. Go in there and come out, bro. Bare face and everything, no mask, you feel me? I'm in there, I'm getting out, bro. You know what I'm saying? Hey, honestly, I done splashed during the daytime, you feel me? I ain't even gonna cap. I done splashed over there on Lombard. Tourists over there talking about, oh my God, if y'all don't knock it off, you know what I'm saying? This is regular out here. Can you tell me a crazy boosting story?
Crazy booster. Oh my God.
What's time, bro?
Which time? Shit. It was going to Twin Peaks, and there was somebody parked up on the side, trying to, you know what I'm saying, take some pictures and shit like that. Well, we end up splashing they shit.
Oh my God. You got a gun. Stay in here.
Get down. Call Ashley.
Stay down.
The next day, motherfuckers on the news.
Team of gunmen rob a film crew in front of terrified witnesses.
You can see one of the robbery suspects pistol whips one of the victims. Tripod legs are hanging outside of the rear passenger window and as they drive away.
You feel me? But can't speak too much on that because, you know what I'm saying?
Tell them the Gucci story.
Okay, so one time we went to the Gucci store, RP, my nigga Fury, man, FBA, man.
We went to Union Fury, man.
Search continues this morning for the gunman who robbed another high-end designer store in San Francisco's Union Square.
So I stole two $2,000 purses. He stole a tracksuit, alarms, and everything. My nigga Fury stole a couple things, too. And he got alarms all through the Gucci tracksuit walking in.
Beeping, bro.
Bam, bam, bam. And we're just everywhere we walk, bro, in the store beeping. The motherfuckers knew we was up to no good. By the time they come up, like, sir, you need any help? Nah, I just need help to show me where the exit's at now. I'm about done here. We walked out with like $10,000, $15,000 worth of shit, bro.
Are you guys worried about consequences, like from the police out here?
What? San Francisco doesn't believe in crime. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Shout out the DA, though. Oh, shout out London Breed, too. Shout out London Breed.
And once the arrests are made, we are hopeful that our DA will prosecute.
I did time in San Francisco, but never like stayed more than like a couple weeks. You know what I'm saying?
We've been doing consequences since juvenile hall. Graduated to prison.
Most definitely.
Still out here, same shit, same environment.
I think they don't give a fuck.
Do you think that's changing the way that like businesses decide to move their shit here?
Oh yeah, for sure. That's why they're all closing down on Market.
Since the start of the year, the city has seen the exit of more than a dozen national retailers from the downtown area.
Yeah.
Do you guys feel bad about that? Or?
Absolutely not. Welcome to the Bay. Straight up. Welcome to the Bay, bro.
Welcome to the city. You know
and I hope when you executives come over here to finalize the paperwork to sign to close the store, your shit gets splashed, my nigga. Welcome to the Bay Area, bro. It's just what we do. We do it all. Splash shit, line them up, stain gang. We do all that, bro. Trap.
Bip City.
Everything, bro. Out the bitch, you name it, we doing it.
Out the bitch.
Working with our Hondos, you know, this baby Honduras right here, man. You feel me?
Shocking discovery in California's drug trade. Hundreds of San Francisco's dealers are coming to our state from just one place, the small town of Syria Valley. It's in the middle of Honduras. You can see in these pictures that many homes in the Syria Valley are built with images of familiar Bay Area icons.
I work at La Cocina up the street. It's about 30, 40 Hondos out in front of that motherfucker every day, selling dope.
Hey, what the fuck? What you want, bruh? Don't be recording all of that up in my face, bruh. Get that shit up on, bro. Don't fuck around like that, bruh.
The Hondos are Hondurans, and they're posted on every block. Police roll right past. They don't get out. They don't roll their window down. They don't say shit. They just look at them, keep going.
What's going on with the Honduran gangs here?
As far as I know it, you get a lot of like young people that are trying to cross into the country, and so they get sponsored. You get a lot of Mexican cartels that are offering basically protection to these young people, and then once you're here, you're working for them.
This is a very important part of the story. I had a chance to speak with a couple Hondos, but I did so off camera. Putting them on camera could put them and their families at serious risk. Here's how it works, and here's why they're in San Francisco. Let's start with the history of fentanyl. Fentanyl is produced by China, or in China, depending on how you look at it. They sell most of their product legally to American pharmaceutical companies, like Johnson & Johnson, who owns the patent to fentanyl patches, fentanyl candy, and fentanyl liquid IV drip.
Fentanyl is used in operating rooms and to control pain after surgery.
Much like Nike, Apple, and other American corporations looking to save money by outsourcing production to countries with lax labor regulations, American pharmaceutical companies literally procured trillion-dollar contracts with Chinese medicine manufacturers to produce cheap generics of many of our favorite drugs today. Percocet, Oxycontin, Xanax, promethazine and codeine, aka Dirty Sprite. And last but not least, the man of the hour, fentanyl. There's not really any music about fentanyl, yet.
Fentanyl is going to bind to your opioid receptors in your central nervous system.
Well, at some point, these Chinese manufacturers realized there was more eager clients besides Johnson & Johnson. And the coolest thing about these new clients, they don't even need you to actually make the fentanyl. All they need is the analog precursors, sodium borohydride and chloride. They bake it down, bag it up, and smuggle it into the U.S. These companies were the Sinaloa cartel and the Jalisco New Generation cartel, $2 billion Mexican drug empires competing for control of smuggling routes into the United States. And so it began.
Drug overdoses are killing more Americans now than at any time in history.
100,000 people died.
At 22 years old, Sawyer Post made a mistake. He tried Percocet, a prescription painkiller.
The Percocet itself was laced with fentanyl. Unfortunately, my son.
Krista says she believes this was Trinity's first time trying drugs.
9-year-old died from a fentanyl overdose.
Every day, 200 Americans die from a fentanyl overdose. Since 2018, which is around when these American-funded Chinese manufacturers began working with the cartels in Mexico, that number is now over 260,000 people. In San Francisco, about 2 people die from an overdose every day. Here is some incredibly sad footage of a husband handing over his wife's body to the San Francisco medical examiners.
Bye-bye, Vicky. Bye-bye, girl. Let me see it. Bye-bye. I love you, Vicky. I love you, life. I love you to death. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, girl. I'm sorry.
Can I give you a hug?
Oh, here, man. Thank you. I can't take it anymore. You didn't even know Vicky, did you?
No.
Now, what you have to understand is that from a distribution standpoint, the current fentanyl crisis is much different than America's last significant drug crisis, which was the crack cocaine epidemic in the 1980s. Back then, cartels and possibly the CIA sold directly to American gangs to distribute in places like Los Angeles, Miami, and New York City. However, over time, the cartels realized that it was much more profitable to import their own dealers into the United States from impoverished third world nations. This is what's going on with the Hondurans. The cartel scouts in the slums of Central America and finds working-age males in poverty. They promise them free, safe passage up north into the United States. Now, we at Channel 5 may or may not have recently gone to Latin America to follow in the footsteps of one of these Honduran migrants. But I will tell you this, shortly after being smuggled across the US border, many of these Hondurans are driven straight to San Francisco, given a package of fentanyl, given a street corner, and told they must sell it to pay off their coyotes. Anyways, more from the FEA gang.
Just catch a real quick tag right here. You guys going to the deck show? Have fun. I will.
As I stood on Market Street with FEA, a group of middle schoolers from Oakland approached us with backpacks full of candy for sale.
You take cash out, little brother? Yeah, for sure. I got hell of shit. You want some candy?
At first, I wasn't sure what was going on, but my new friend broke it down.
Yeah, so behind us right here, man, you know what I'm saying? We got these kids, I say about 12 to 15, 16. You heard one of them, he say from Oakland, so they hop on board, come out here. This is Money Zone. Like I said, I ain't from out here either. Everybody comes out here from other cities. Rarely will you find someone from the city that's actually out here hustling. Basically what they did, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna speak too deep on it, but come here with some backpacks, go to a store, fill it up with candy, walk down Market, and the tourists, 9 times out of 10, they gonna buy it. They think, you know what I'm saying, like, oh, okay, look at these kids. They got the little hustle going on here. We respect it. They could be out here stripping shit, this and that, so we're gonna support it. You know what I'm saying? Little do they know, but then, you know, you graduate. Now you figure out about bipping. Now you figure about house licks. Now you figure about playing with guns. Now you start, you know what I'm saying? You expand your horizon, you feel me? Bro, it ends up how me and my nigga Dre's ended up, bro. You start going to juvenile hall, and then you go to county jail, and then you go to prison. So he's supporting the young niggas, because we used to do some shit like that too.
The escalation of crime is pretty interesting.
Oh, it is. You know, they start looking up to the wrong kind of things too. Like they'll look up to my nigga right here, you feel me? Bape outfit, you know, off-white belts, Jordans. That's the ultimate goal, is I want to be out here saucy, you know what I'm saying? There's no talking to the young generation either. They don't want to hear it, because I didn't want to hear it.
Is it possible to, like, stop people from going down this road?
Not really, because if you want it, you're going to get it. Yeah. I was the same way. You know, I was going to juvenile hall, motherfuckers was trying to preach this and preach that, and...
What you gonna do when you're making no money and you dropping out of high school? Got a baby on the way with a lady. She don't understand you a little crazy. You can't even stop. You're stealing from your parents and running from the cops. Yeah, let me keep it real. Take a moment, look back. Every kid's got a dream that it wasn't be a drug addict. If you want to be high, be a hope dealer.
I don't want to hear none of it, you feel me? I don't want to hear what you guys change your life and this and that and what it leads to. Like, I ain't tripping, bro.
What are your aspirations for your life beyond this?
Me? Shit, I'm trying to get it together now, man. I've spent way too many years fucking up, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting close to 30 now, bro, and it's just trying to get into a union or something like that. That's the plan right now, bro, you know what I'm saying? And I'm in the process of that, bro, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of behind the scenes with this shit, you feel me? This is just...
Damn, you guys bought hella candy. What the fuck? You see how much candy they got?
It's not even about the candy, man. It's just the support.
You know what I mean? You gotta support.
Shit, I'm about to head back to San but my niggas gonna be out here. Pleasure meeting you, bro.
My new friends from FEA said they had to go back to San but I wanted to keep checking out the streets of the Tenderloin. So they linked me up with their friend named Antoine, who is a couple blocks away.
Oh, hey, what's up, my loved one? I'm gonna tell you like this, man. I done seen everything in San Francisco. The only thing I ain't never seen, a bitch that I need and a turtle with speed, nigga, on everything I love, nigga. The Biffin shit is going bananas, nigga. Look, when I say bananas, nigga, on everything, nigga. I swear to God, I quit my, we ain't gonna get into all that, but just know, if your cousin show up into your house at 3 in the morning with a duffel bag and he happy, he did his thug thizzle that evening, you feel me? And it's a little petty crime, a little slap on the wrist, you feel me? I'm talking about you go sit up in county about 3-4 days, depending on what kind of prize you got, and they gonna let you write about that motherfucker. Motherfuckers get right back up in that motherfucker. Petty crime. Sparkies on the leash, top, and pull that motherfucker right back. Spark plugs to break a window quicker than a bip on my mama.
So can you tell us where we're at and what's going on?
Man, we is on 8th and Market, the notorious 8th and Market. You can find everything down here on 8th and Market, from hygiene bottles to fentanyl to bikes to wheelchairs. If you want a wheelchair, you come down here and get a wheelchair. So if you want some apple juice or canned goods, you get it for the low. You ain't gotta go to Food Court Safeway. Come right here.
Jacob Shibashevsky, who owns Fermentation Lab on Market Street, says crime in the mid-market area has worsened post-pandemic.
I wish there was more that could be done.
So it's cool with me because I've been in San Francisco all my life. But for people that just moving out here, it's really hurting them because they're not used to this. So it's like the people that's gentrifying and coming into our neighborhood in these new tech company buildings and stuff are the ones that's complaining. If you don't like it, go back home. I'm okay with that. Shit, I'm tired of San Francisco being packed. Go ahead, close this motherfucker down. Let us get back to who we was before. The people that's been here, we okay with this. This has been going on before our time. This has been going on for years and decades. It's just visible now because they don't have nowhere to put them. Because if you look at documentaries from 1980s in San Francisco, they've been doing this. This been going on.
The rush is what got me.
I'm not gonna say we cool with it, but we understand it. We see how it goes. We okay with that.
This guy's doing a nitrous balloon. You think he's here for the Grateful Dead show, or you think he's a homeless guy? You here for the Grateful Dead show, or you living on the streets?
All gas, no break.
Hell yeah.
All gas, no break. There you go.
I think at this point, it's important to note that this entire documentary was pretty much filmed in a 6-block radius that composes one particular neighborhood in the city. This neighborhood is called the Tenderloin. Since the 1890s, it's been nicknamed the Tenderloin because it was suggested that police who patrolled the area receive additional hazard pay bonuses, also supplement their income with bribes from local brothels, gambling halls, speakeasies, and so forth, and ultimately receive such a good payout, they could afford tenderloin steaks for dinner every night. The point I'm making is that for over 100 years, cops in Frisco have turned a blind eye to crime in the Tenderloin. Much like the downtown east side in Vancouver, BC, Canada, or the Kensington area of North Philadelphia, they consider it to be a containment policy. If they allow certain things like open-air drug markets to occur in a specific contained zone, then crime is unlikely to occur in more affluent nearby neighborhoods. The same is true in San Francisco. Just a stone's throw away from the Tenderloin are very affluent neighborhoods like Nob Hill, Pacific Heights, and North Beach. These neighborhoods have a high police presence and low crime rates. Anyways, that's a story for another day. I wanted to check out some of the open-air drug markets that were allegedly in the Tenderloin. Antoine agreed to show me the biggest one, but he was a bit nervous about filming.
So what is this block up here that we're about to walk to?
This the block. This the block. If you you gonna see, but that's the block. You feel me? But it's just a popular block where things happen. Things happen. But downtown, you know, like we finna go check in with them. You know, I'm gonna let y'all know what's going on. I passed through, but I don't know enough, you know, to be right here. But I'm gonna let them go. You feel me? And do how they do when they do it.
So what's this block called again?
The Woo Block. WOO Block. I'm not from here. I don't hang out down here, but I know about it because I'm a San Franciscan. And just know, this block get a little a little crazy at times, depending on what's going on, you feel me? It's a go-to block, one-stop shop. If you want to get something, they gonna have something. Everything. That's why I said I'm gonna let the Hawk twins let you know.
What's going on, y'all, man? Y'all made it to the city, man. Where it's pretty at, We on the Woo block, man. We is trapping over here, man. Selling weed, slapping booties, and making movies, man.
I can never switch, I can never snitch. I can never fuck with niggas acting like a bitch. I can never fold, could never be a hoe. I ain't never been a trick, I forever get the dough. I can never switch, I can never snitch. I can never fuck with niggas acting like a bitch. I can never fold, could never be a hoe. I ain't never been a trick, I forever get the dough.
Till I get $1 million deal, I'm still gonna sell dope on this hill, man.
How would you guys describe the current state of San Francisco?
I mean, shit, it's a bunch of shit going on, but this shit ain't nothing new. You know, everything that's going on right now been going on. It's just more so like they making it easier for motherfuckers. You know, they giving out needles, they giving out shit, you know, like.
It's part of San Francisco's public health strategy called harm reduction, taking steps to reduce the negative consequences of using drugs.
Aluminum foil. This is a lot of it.
What is it used for?
This is used so they can put their fentanyl on here, and then they burn it and they smoke it through a straw.
Shit, they just passed the law. They don't take you to jail for stealing no more. You get cited and released. They damn near making it easy. You know what I mean? Like. So that's why everyone off dope come to the city. It's easy to be on dope. The police don't give a fuck because they ain't gonna take no dope fiend to jail because they ain't gonna make no money off of it. They'd rather take me and Tyler to jail because they know we gonna bail out. They gonna make some money off of us.
Yeah, I'm a done daughter. Think I let it smell of that gunpowder. Pass the whole little bro so he can get some funds out of it.
Yeah, they don't take crackheads to jail because it's no money in it. They don't have no money. They're not gonna pay no fines. Yeah. My son go to school right here. I take my son to school and he looking at the niggas, the dude smoking dope right here. You know what I mean? So if you live here, it is kind of a problem because your kids are raised up watching people smoking dope on the side of the street, and that ain't cool. It is not good, you know. So I feel like they should give them a certain area where they can smoke dope at. It's a disease. Motherfuckers off heroin and shit. If they stop doing heroin, they will die. So it's more so like instead of killing them, we're gonna give them some clean needles, or they gonna catch AIDS, you know, and be out here, you know.
You just standing right here. They just drove past 4-5D. They should be up there, but they down here.
The police, they'd rather pull up on me talking about we the real twins. There was some twin police. They pulled up on us like we the real twins.
Take y'all real twin ass up the street and go do some work.
Channel 5 Live worldwide, Hollywood and Vine.
Fuck the authority, Channel 5 News.
Channel 55. We don't fuck with custers. And 5 is the best number.
If you enjoyed this documentary, I have great news. You only saw a small portion of what we're allowed to post on YouTube. The complete documentary includes an actual tour of a safe injection site and harm reduction facility, as well as conversations with experts in the field. We also shadow a professional bipper and fentanyl dealer throughout his complete resale process, from breaking into cars in the Twitter headquarters to selling stolen goods at a secondhand illegal market in the Mission District. Beyond that, we also shadow a pimp.
Oh man, I'll break bitches, man.
Throughout his day at work. If you'd like to see all of this content, go to our Patreon, www.patreon.com/channel5. As you know, Channel 5 is and has always been completely independent. So if you want to support and see some stuff that you can't see on the regular internet, go to our Patreon. Thanks.
All right, guys, listen up. This is no joke. We're not going to jump down. We're going to walk down like normal people. Let's get this done. Now, these are our elites, okay? These are our elites. What we have to do is we have to get ahead of them and then kill the mobs that are ahead of them. And then hyper spawn the other mobs on top of them. Okay, let's do it. There we go. There we go, big dick. Good job, guys, keep it up. Loot these fucking cards. Who's big dicking? I don't want to see anybody getting low health. We need a lot of these minor cards. Where's recount? I don't have it, actually. Yeah, I actually don't have recount or like any damage meter at all. I don't think it really matters. Oh, I saw this. Like, this dude went 8. Like, look at this.
Go. Why stay here? Go.
What's he doing? That dude work for Obama? I'm not bullshitting you. What's he doing? What is this? What did he just put up? He just put a pin up?
It's not my fault that you pray to a criminal.
Listen, I'm working now, okay? Can you leave, please? Go, please.
You're not working.
I'm just working here, yeah. Go.
There's no.
Dude. Imagine you're just sitting in town and you just like randomly aggro a hostile NPC. Just out of nowhere. It's like you're just sitting there waiting, like reading trade chat, and like a hostile NPC comes in and just starts attacking you.
Out of here. I'm going to put big signs here that say this guy believes in Hamas.
You want to buy something?
No, I don't.
Okay, why stay here?
I won't give you a penny of my money.
Listen. Why stay here?
What?
You wanna buy something?
No.
Okay, go.
I don't want to go. I have a right.
Jesus Christ. This is the kind of stuff, bro, like, one thing that I've learned with people like this is nutballs, is you never look at them. You can never, dude, if you look at them, that's what really winds them up.
You have no right to be on the sidewalk. You have a permit?
Yeah, I have a permit, I have everything, I have a license.
Okay, but you don't have a visa.
I have a passport, my friend, go.
What do you have?
It's not your business, go.
Oh, it is my business, because I actually know the guy who owns all these.
I have an American citizen. Do you have it?
American citizen?
Yeah, do you have it?
How? How did you become an American citizen?
It's not your business, go.
Oh, you're right.
I'm born here.
But you're a terrorist. You support terrorism.
Listen, go. I'm not support something.
You support terrorism.
I'm not some. Go. I'm just working here.
You're a terrible person.
You kill children, not me.
What?
Go.
My kids? What about my kids?
You kill children, not me. Go.
I didn't kill children.
Okay, why stay here?
You know why? If we killed 4,000 Palestinian kids, you know what? It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough.
Go.
Just get out. Somebody having a mental health episode. Oh my God. Like, what's he doing that for? What's he getting mad for? What the fuck? Yeah, what a nutball, man. I saw this. I couldn't even believe this. I heard somebody wrote down some of the things the dude said, and I was like, there's no way somebody's actually acting this way, man. But no, bro, this was worse than I thought it was. What a dickhead. Yeah, what a fucking average Israeli supporter. What else do you expect? Nah. I mean, like, let's be real. I've seen people that are like Palestine Hamas supporters that are equally unhinged. Like, we're not gonna, this ain't a competition, right? Like, what about the other 95% of the population that's not fucking unhinged? Like, why is it, it's not a competition, bro. Like, it is not. Just, it's weird. People act like this. Like, what the fuck, man? Yeah, I yell at dudes like that in public. I'm not gonna yell at somebody like that, but that's it. All these fuckers have a childlike glee about genocide? Yeah, because they're sitting in New York in their comfortable little sweater and a jacket here, because they're not gonna have to do it. That's why. Of course they can be comfortable with it, because it's never gonna happen to them. It's never gonna have anything to do with them. So guess what? They get to have these opinions. They get to be big shots and, you know, like, war hawks. But this guy's not going to go serve. He's not going to go over to Israel and fight the Palestinians. Hamas, he's not going to do anything. He's just going to vote and talk shit on the street whenever, if this guy came out of his car and beat the shit out of him, he'd be calling the cops. That's what it is. Something to do with money is harassing peasants in the modern day. That's what the video is. He's a bully. He absolutely is. This guy's a fucking dickhead. Yeah, what's strange is him smiling all the time. It's because he's nuts. Like, I really think that, like, so this is one thing that people might not really understand. It's like back in, like, the 60s and the 50s, we had these things like mental institutions, right? And so you would put a guy like this in one of those places, right? And it wasn't like prison. It was like jail for people that are crazy. And so then they got rid of all these because the mental institutions had a bunch of problems too, right? It was not an ethical thing in many different ways. So we got rid of these asylums. And then where did all these people go? Well, we just let them loose. They're just loose. Go free! And now they're on Twitter. Now they're in front of this fucking, that was this taco stand or wherever the fuck this is. So this is how these people, they get out, bro. They get out. They escaped Arkham Asylum. They did. The smiling part is a stress reaction. The dude isn't feeling like he's doing the right thing, but he does it anyway. Well, it could be 5 different things, right? But the point is that you just get these nutballs like that all the time. Standard boomer syndrome. I know. It's just a standard entitled American. I don't know if it is or not. I don't know if he's an American. I mean, he probably is an American. I guess so. But damn. And they've spawned as well. Yeah. All I'm really trying to get at is that, you know, I see a video like this and like, yeah, this dude's like a huge dickhead and a piece of shit. And like, obviously he's wrong for being how much of an asshole he is. But like, whenever I see a person that has like one of these public freakouts, personally, my opinion is that I think they're having a mental health episode. I think that this is a person and there's something wrong in their head. Like there's some sort of, you know, like some screw that went loose, something that went wrong, and like they don't normally act this way, and they just kind of, whoop, you know, like it's just what monkeys do, gorillas do this shit, so why can't he do it? It's not mental health, it's ideology. Well, what if they're the same thing? You know, I think sometimes they are the same thing. It's been crazy how people, like, I really find this to be problematic, is that people that are supportive of, like, you know, the Palestinians and shit that, like, get attacked, they're losing their positions. And like, I want to say also, like, this has been something that's been going on for a long time. You know, people that have different types of ideologies, different social opinions, losing their job, being removed from, like, their position. I find this to be very problematic. Good. Well, why is that good, though? I find that to be bad. If a person can just have their life completely taken away from them structurally by institutions that function as a government, how is this a good thing? I don't think this is a good thing. Like, I would understand if she was saying, like, if this dude got fired, I would be like, for fucking sure, right? I mean, he's literally advocating genocide of kids. Like, duh. But, like, supporting a group of people that are being attacked, there's nothing wrong with that. They support terror? No, they don't. There are tons of people who support Palestinians who don't support terrorism. This is insane to say it's the same thing. It is fucking insane. Now, I will tell you that there are people that support both. And supporting the terrorism is disgusting. But supporting Palestinians and people that are getting bombed, like, there are people, like, I saw this, and like, very rarely does something actually kind of make me sad, right? But this almost did. And I heard that, like, you know, like, one of the hospitals there, they lost power. And they had people that they were taking care of in this hospital, in the ICU. All of them just died. Because they lost power. That's fucking sad, man. That's a horrible thing. And it doesn't, like, I'm not saying that, like, Israel is, like, bad and everything Israel does is bad. But, like, you have to recognize some level of humanity in this and stop treating it like it's fucking a video game. People treat it like it's a video game. Like, it's just so fucked up, man. It's awful. I see this all the time, and it's just, it's gotten a lot worse recently. Let me read this here. Both sides, legitimate grievances, worse horrible for everyone involved. I mean, I'm sure, right? Like, I don't really care, like, whose side you think that, like, is right or wrong. Like, I think that how many of you guys are of the mindset that's this? It was horrible, the fact that the Hamas or whoever the fuck killed those people at that convention or that concert at the beginning of October. It was like October 7th. That was absolutely terrible and horrible. Right? It's a terrible thing. Like, it's 100%. It's a horrible thing. Like, should have never happened. It's awful. But also, people dying in the hospital because they get their power turned off or their power shut off from bombings, that's also horrible too, whenever Palestinians have that happen. Because I guarantee you, everybody in those hospital beds wasn't a fucking terrorist. It's crazy. It's crazy how radicalized people are and how desensitized people are to just like the bleak horror of it. And I think that people just don't see that because all they get to do is watch movies or see clips or something like that. But to live like that is awful, man. Wasn't this what Bush did? It is. It is. It absolutely was. And it's what Obama continued. Absolutely. You're totally fucking right. And it's like, I even talked about that before, right? Is because, like, you see a lot of those guys, and I don't want to get into this for a long time, right? Because I want to watch the Andrew Tate thing and get into it. But I just want to say this, right? It's like, I remember whenever I saw ISIS dudes, like, 5 years ago, and a lot of these guys were, like, 19 years old. They were 21 years old. And you do the math on something like that, the entire life that they've ever lived and known is having their country preoccupied by a foreign power. And I guarantee you that while a lot of U.S. soldiers probably conduct themselves in a patriotic and good and upstanding way, there's a good amount of them that probably didn't. And how do I know that? Because that's the same with any human interaction in the history of human interactions. There's nothing specific about that. So you have people that grow up their whole life and they're being occupied by a foreign power that in their mind is oppositional to them, and then you're surprised that they turn into terrorists trying to get rid of those people? Get the fuck out of here. Of course they're going to do that. Shit, that's what we did. What are we talking about? It's insane. Nobody ever puts themselves in the shoes of the other person. Nobody ever tries to see it from the perspective of another person. They only try and see it through their perspective and assume that everybody else is wrong. People don't want to be oppressed. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, base emotional intelligence things. Yeah, it's easy to see where people, like, where things come from, right? And it doesn't justify the terrorism. I'm not saying it justifies it at all. But, like, you have to understand that something like this comes from a place of, like, a lack of power. I think a lot of terrorism and terrorist acts come from a place of a lack of power. Right? They don't feel like they have representation or power, so they do this. It doesn't justify it at all. And I think we should be, you know, like, they're not good. It's not a good thing at all. But you have to see where it comes from. So what? Well, so this is the thing, right? Is that, like, my goal in my mind, right, would be making this stuff happen a lot less. I don't really care about who's right or wrong in a lot of circumstances, because even if you're right or even if you're wrong, you can still hurt other people. So my mindset is, let's just make sure things like this don't happen as much. That's my mindset. So it's not about being right or wrong. It's a silly mindset to have. Because they're right in their mind, you're right in your mind, and the person who kills the other guy gets to say who was actually right. That's history. Billy backs you into a corner and beats the crap out of you for years. At some point, you're going to make a decision to save yourself, however that manifests in your head. Yeah, for sure. I get that. Yeah, I do. As long as wars bring money, they're going to keep repeating. I mean, wars have been going on forever. Let's be honest. So, yeah. Please pull up my logs. I'm an Israeli. Well, let's see what she said. So, you said she got... Susan Sarandon got canceled for anti-Semitic comment. And she said, now Jews get a taste of what Muslims feel like. That's not being pro-Palestinian, that's being anti-Semitic, and that's what she got canceled for. I think that, I think that he makes a good point here. She's right, though. I mean, yeah, I mean, she does make a good point. Bar for anti-Semitism is low. I mean, okay, so... I think one way to check question mark antis. Yeah, I hate the question marks. They're always really annoying because they don't mean anything, right? It's just like, no. But like, I wish people, yeah, I wish there was like a way to like, you know, get rid of that. But anyway, that's not anti-Semitic. Now whites get a taste of what blacks feel like. Would that be racist? Now women get a taste of what men feel like. Or vice versa. Would that be sexist? Now, with this circumstance, I don't know if, like, just saying that, because, like, it's kind of clear that she's probably talking about the people in Israel, right? And she's not talking about Jews collectively. But whenever you use language like that, it's going to sound like you're talking about Jews collectively, because those were the words that you used. No, she meant American Jews? If she meant American Jews, then she absolutely deserves to get kicked out. Absolutely. It's not even a question. To be fair, Muslim is a religion. Jew can mean religion and the race. Yeah, I think that you're right about that. And, like, the religion, like, and that's the problem, right? Is that, like, you have, like, people that are this religion by conversion, and people that are this religion by culture, and people that are this religion by ethnicity and region. So it's like, yeah, it's complicated. But I think if she's talking about Americans, then yeah, I do actually agree with you. She meant American Jews? She's talking about American Jews? Maybe I should look into that more. I think that you could be right. Yeah, I didn't see what she said. If that's actually what she said, then I think that you're right. Yeah, regardless, they're both related. It's sad on both fronts, murdering and killing each other. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I think he makes a good point. Jews are not a race? I thought they were. Like, I thought you could be ethnically Jewish. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like, am I wrong? Like, well, what I mean by race, like, ethnically, what I mean is, like, somebody is born, like, you're not necessarily born a Muslim or a Christian or, like, Hindu, but you can be born a Jew. Like, based off of, like, your parents', like, ancestry. Is that true? Yeah, I think that's true. I don't know. Call themselves race and act like it? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and again, like, I'm just trying to understand this. Because this was my impression of it. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. That's xenophobia? Really? Why? I don't think so. How? Black African Jews are the same race as white European Jews? Well, I don't know. I'm sure there's, like, you know, I mean, I'm not an expert in this. I don't know. Like, maybe there's like some, like, weird circumstance, but, like, this is just what my understanding was. You mess up race and ethnicity. Ethnicity is, like, where you're from, whereas race is, like, race is biological. Asman, as your PR team, get out, man. Now you can only lose. Jesus. What is wrong with you guys? People are so conditioned into being afraid of talking about anything that's even slightly uncomfy because they're worried that, like, there's gonna, like, what do you think? Like, people are gonna, like, I'm gonna get canceled because I don't know that Jews are a race or an ethnicity? Like, what? No, it's not gonna happen. I'm just asking questions because I don't understand it. What's wrong with you? What do you think is gonna happen? I don't get it. Yeah, I never worry about that. The reason I never worry about getting canceled or anything like that is that I believe that I conduct myself in a good faith manner. And I think that any sort of investigation into that will immediately prove that to be the case. So anybody with an agenda against me or anything like that, it's not going to go anywhere. So if I ask a question and the question is worded in a way that makes people that are constantly terrified of cancel culture slightly uncomfy, this isn't something that makes me worried because I know that this isn't a problem. You go in uncomfortable conversations, come out a richer person. Yeah, I don't understand where that mindset comes from. Even if research doesn't have that, let me look at this. Ethnicity equals genetics, nationality is social and legal. Yeah, gross conflation used for segregation and exclusion, usually for political ends. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like people use race and ethnicity in, like, in language almost interchangeably. Like, am I crazy for thinking that? I don't think that I am. I feel like they're used interchangeably a lot. XQC got canceled for looking at an explosion. Who cares? What do you mean he got canceled? You mean there was a tweet about him that was negative? Jewish heritage gets passed down by the mother. My mom's mom was a Jew, so I am by default, even though I'm an atheist. Yeah, that's just my understanding. Either way, if that's the case and she was making a statement about American Jews or something like that and not just people in Israel, then yeah, I do retract what I say, and it does seem to be actually a bad thing. You know, anybody supporting harassment, anybody who is supporting harassment on a group of people or a person based off of something they didn't do, I think that they're automatically bad. Like, they are automatically the aggressor. They are automatically in the wrong. And this is my perspective on this kind of stuff, right? It's like, I don't mind talking about this kind of stuff because I think one of the biggest problems that people have socially is that they're afraid of talking about uncomfortable things. Because they think that in talking about the uncomfortable thing, they could somehow be misquoted or misunderstood as if they were a bad person. I'm not afraid of talking about uncomfortable things. Very obviously, I'm not. I have no problem with it. I'm not afraid of it. I actually enjoy it. So I never worry about people getting angry about what I say, people lying about what I say, people misquoting me. That's just what's going to happen. And whenever it does happen, it won't matter. That's it. You know what? You know what I think we'll do? I think we're gonna watch. A lot of people have wanted me to look at this. I'm gonna watch one of these. It's so fucking good. Oh no, I know a lot of people like it.
The other day I logged onto League of Legends for a typical day of work on the Rift.
Mommy's milk? Ooh, wow. That guy's way better than he is. Did he buy that gear on the store? Jesus. I need to play that character.
But instead of following my usual pattern of asking for more pain, today was different. Why stay in this 15-year abusive relationship when there are other attractive candidates on the market?
Why stay in a 15-year abusive relationship when you can get in a 19-year abusive relationship?
I needed a break and just had to decide on which game to play. A game that was made in 2008 before the era of ChatGPT tricking me into thinking I've been talking to real women was the game I needed, and just to double down on the amount of time I would be wasting by doing this, I would also be playing the hardcore version of the game. Jesus. Which outside of a word I type into many search bars is also a mode of this MMO.
Oh, by the way, this was totally Ozzy's fault. He completely fucked this up. There's no...
Hey guys, Middle Jesus here, and today I am back with another PlayStation 1 Hidden Gems video. It has been way too long since I've done one of these, but lately I've been playing a lot of PS1 games when I've been reviewing the PS1 Digital, that's the internal HDMI mod, as well as the Polymega. And so while making those videos, I started digging deep into my PS1 collection, and well, I came up with more PS1 Hidden Gems to talk about, so let's get to it. So the first game I want to talk about is Steel Harbinger. Now, this game is all sorts of awesome. Right off the bat, you are treated to a hilariously cheesy full-motion video intro where you learn it's the future and America is at war with its neighbors, Canada and Mexico, when suddenly these alien pods fall from the sky. The scientist in the intro here is studying those alien pods when his daughter just kind of wanders in, gets a little too close to the specimen. There's an accident and she gets infected, which just turns her into this kind of sexy human alien hybrid that basically, I guess, is humanity's last hope. And so what you do is you play her character in this game, walking around these massive levels, shooting aliens. You'll consume the alien flesh for health. You'll pick up ammo for weapons. You'll look for key cards to unlock doors. And you'll even find some discs that are hidden in some of these warehouses and things like that that unlock and play even more wacky FMV videos. And trust me, they're worth looking for.
It appears that we're getting more and more stories in about these pod sightings in Houston, Kansas City, and Denver.
It looks also, Jeff, like we're getting sightings in Europe.
Well, I guess there goes my summer vacation, Jane. We at Station K-Bot want to remind you that at this point, these sightings are unconfirmed. We have no solid information as yet. It's important to stay calm. I want to repeat that these sightings are unconfirmed. Jane?
Oh my. No! Now, overall, the controls are pretty decent, although I wish it did have a strafe option. I kept wanting to find something like that. There is a trigger button that basically will plant your feet and allow you to kind of sweepingly shoot everywhere, but a strafe option would have been really nice. Also, it's way too easy to kill the humans. It's funny because the humans actually run towards you just like the aliens. So many times you're in this massive firefight and you kill the humans by accident, and it's just, I don't know, it's like collateral damage, I guess. So basically this game is just a big sci-fi B movie. If you like going around kicking ass, shooting aliens, saving humans, watching really funny FMV videos, you're gonna love this game. It's hilarious. Next up is a game I've featured clips of in my Metal Jesus intro for a while now, and I always get questions from people, wondering what game it is. Well, that is Nanotech Warrior. So as you can see by the footage here, it's a shooter that has a really cool concept where your ship follows a tube and you can basically move 360 degrees around that. And the concept is pretty easy. You're trying to shoot enemies, you're trying to dodge or hop over obstacles, you gather up items to help you along the way. And as you can see here, the graphics are pretty fast and run great on the PS1. I mean, I think it really shows the power of the PlayStation. However, the game can be pretty tough, so you're going to be dying a lot, but while dying and replaying levels, you're going to learn kind of how it ebbs and flows, and thankfully, there are checkpoints. So yeah, Nanotech Warrior is a pretty cool game on the PlayStation 1. I mean, it looks and runs great, and it's exclusive to it. So if you're looking for something new to play on your PS1, yeah, check it out. Next up is a game with a funny name called Felony 1179, although it's also called Runabout in other countries. Now, on its surface, this may look like kind of a run-of-the-mill racing game, but in fact, it's a single-player racing game with a bit of adventure elements thrown in for good measure. The story in this game is you're looking for 3 ancient artifacts that will help you open a long-lost casket that was discovered. So I guess these things function as keys to get this open, and that's what you're trying to find. So for instance, in the first mission, you smash your car into a museum, steal an artifact that you need, and then now you're trying to get away before the time runs out. But it's not that simple, because you need to pick up these sticks of dynamite that are laying around the city while trying to avoid the police. Now, why dynamite is just laying around the city streets? Yeah, maybe it's best not to ask. Again, it's a video game. Once you have the dynamite, then you drive out of town, there's a gate there that you blow open, and then the rest of the level is open to you, and then hopefully you can escape. As I was playing this, I was really reminded of Grand Theft Auto, because Grand Theft Auto does this all the time, right? Where you'll get a mission like, almost exactly like this, where you try to steal something, get away from the cops, but there's always a little bit of, extra mission things that you have to accomplish. And so that's kind of what this feels like. It's a pretty cool racing game and isn't really over complex and definitely doesn't stay its welcome. I know that the original reviews of this kind of said that it's a little bit on the short side, but yeah, I guess that's true. But again, sometimes you just want something quick and dirty. Plus, it's got an amazing surf rock soundtrack. Check it out. Next up is a game called Thrill Kill. Now, if you haven't heard this game, I'm not surprised because it got really close to being finished, but ultimately it was canceled because of the controversy surrounding it. This game was created by Paradox Development, which went on to create a bunch of those backyard wrestling games for the PlayStation 2 and Xbox. And as you see here by this footage, it is a 4-person brawler / fighting game that has a bunch of weird and disturbing characters to battle and play as. I guess technically you are in hell and there's some sort of psychological aspect to this game, but I guess at the time the game leaned a little bit too far into the ultra-violence territory, you know, that's now basically commonplace when you've played any of the more modern, you know, Mortal Kombat games. But back then, EA was going to be the publisher, and they were not comfortable releasing this game. And so it was officially canceled, even though it got really close to release, but it got leaked, and you can easily find it online. And what's interesting is that when you launch this game, it does give you a warning. You have to do a button combination basically saying that you're okay to play it. So, never seen that before in a PS1 game. So what about the game and why is it in this video? Well, I was having a ton of fun playing this game and capturing all this footage. So, like I mentioned, 4 characters, very unique personalities and fighting styles, just going at it. You'll notice that in the corner, as you do damage, it builds up a bloodlust gauge that basically when it gets high enough, you get really overpowered. And then at that point, all of the other combatants will just like back away from you, because at that point you can do an instant kill to anybody that you grab. It'll definitely remind you of the over-the-top fatalities that you get in Mortal Kombat. And like I said, each character is very unique and has their own moves and fighting styles. It's a pretty fun beat 'em up, and it's really easy to find a copy online to check out. I definitely had more fun than I expected playing this game. It's awesome. Next up is Cyber Sled. So this is a futuristic arena battle game, and I guess it's based on an arcade game, although I'd never heard of it before. And the premise here is very simple. So you're in the future and you have this sled-like device, or basically hovercraft, and then you also have machine guns and missiles, and what you're trying to do is simply just destroy the other opponent as quickly as possible. And as you can see here, it is a third-person game, although you do have the option to go into first person if you prefer that, but then you have all of these obstacles that you kind of zip around and basically, again, just try to shoot and destroy your opponent, you know, as quickly as you can. As for the controls, you use the D-pad to slide your sled around, again, almost like a hovercraft, and then you use the shoulder buttons to turn left or right. This really reminds me of a 3D combat game. You remember that old Atari game? That's what this feels like. Now, as you can see by this footage, I'm doing pretty well holding my own against the computer, but something tells me that this would definitely be better and more fun as a 2-player game. Now, I mentioned that this was based on an arcade game, and actually in the options, you can go in there and you can actually change it to be the original polygon graphics without the texture mapping. Not sure why you would do this, but you know, both look pretty good. I guess you see the polygon version here, or actually polygon's not really accurate. It's the non-textured version. But anyways, it gives you the option depending on which style you like best. All right, next up is a game called No One Can Stop Mr. Domino. Now, what's funny about this game, and it's definitely putting a smile on my face, because just the other night, my nephew Will was over here, and we were playing a bunch of PS1 games, and we were kind of going through some of these that I was going to talk about in this video, and I was like, Will, you've got to check out this game called No One Can Stop Mr. Domino. And I handed him the controller, and he started playing this game, and the funniest thing happened, because he started swearing because the game was driving him absolutely crazy, yet he was obsessed with it. He had to try to beat this game because it was so addictive. And so all of the footage that you're seeing in this video is actually Will playing the game. So what's going on here? Well, you control Mr. Domino, and your goal is to try to drop dominoes onto specific targets throughout the level, which again sounds easier than actually done. So the way this game works is that the game is always propelling you forward as Mr. Domino. So you can't go backwards. You can really only go, you know, right or left or forward, and you can kind of control your speed a little bit. And then what you're doing is you're dropping dominoes, and you do that with a button press. And you can see how many dominoes you have in the lower right-hand corner. And then the strategy in this game is on your second pass through the level, because it basically just loops, then you would bump your dominoes, which would then make them fall to hit those special targets. And then you have a certain number of them to complete the level. Now, I know it sounds and looks really weird, and it absolutely is. But again, it's very addictive. And as you can see here, there are just tons of obstacles in your way, including a timer that's always ticking. So again, you can't really just relax and play this game, because if you do, you won't make it through the level, because again, you've got to loop around to try to advance. And you'll notice that there are tiles that do very specific things. So for instance, you'll see a plus every once in a while, which will add more time. But you don't want to do that unless you need it, because you've only got a certain number of those. Same thing with the R tile, because that'll actually reset the entire level. Now, that may be something you want to do early on, but you absolutely don't want to hit that as you progress, because you could reset everything and then you wouldn't have any time to complete it. Trust me, there's a lot going on in this game. If it looks remotely interesting to you, I highly recommend you check it out, because I've certainly never played anything like it, and it was only released on the PlayStation 1. Next up is a game called Motor Toon Grand Prix. So what's really interesting about this particular kart racing game is that it's by the same developer as the people who made the Gran Turismo series. In fact, when you start playing this game, you're going to immediately notice that there's just a little bit more physics in this game than, say, other, arcade-style racing games. Now, not a ton, but you're definitely going to notice it in the corners and the way your car handles. Now, what's weird about that is that it's also got the crazy kind of over-the-top cartoon graphics, including that sort of exaggerated stretchy look that your car does when it takes corners. It's so bizarre when you first start playing it. And I love the look and design of these levels. They're somewhere between, say, Mario Kart and maybe Micro Machines. And just like in Mario Kart and other kart racing games, you have power-ups and items, but the way that it works in this game is that you drive over these coin markers on the road, and you'll see how that accumulates as you do the different laps. And then what you can do is just hit a button to spend a coin, which then does this kind of lottery spinning wheel thing. And then, a power-up or an item appears, and then you can use it. There's a lot of kart racing games released, especially around this time, both on the PlayStation 1 and the N64, but this one definitely stands out as something different. Next up is a game I've been wanting to talk about for a while now. It has kind of an unusual name called Philosoma. Now, when you first start playing this game, it seems like it's just another generic shoot 'em up. I mean, like so many other that you've already played. However, keep playing the game and you'll be amazed, like I was, that the perspective keeps changing from level to level. First, it will start like a top-down vertical shooter, but then it'll switch to a third-person shooter where the camera is behind the ship. Then the camera will swing around and now you're shooting the enemies behind you and you're actually heading towards you. Then it will switch to a Gradius R-type style game where it's a horizontal shooter and more. Plus it wraps a pretty cool story around the whole thing. This is definitely a really cool shooter that looks great, it controls well, and also it just uses the power of the PS1 to really keep things fresh and interesting. Again, a game with a really weird name, but man, it's so cool. Here we have Silent Bomber. So this is a third-person action game where you control a futuristic soldier that has this particular talent for using bombs and blowing stuff up. Now, what's interesting about this game is that it's a little bit different than your standard third-person shooter because you end up using a bit more strategy with this game. For instance, as I run around here, you'll notice that I have this aiming cone that allows you to toss bombs onto specific enemy parts. Now you can also stack those bombs for more damage, but they don't automatically detonate because you have total control over that, leading to you trying to create as much damage combos with other enemies around as possible. And you have other weapons like napalm, which can be planted on the ground and again detonated at any time for like a wide, long-lasting area effect. And this is a very different tactic than, say, a traditional third-person shooting game where maybe you had a gun and you would just sit there and just hose them down with endless bullets. It almost plays a little bit like Bomberman in that regard. And I like how the game supports the analog stick, which is really nice for moving your character. And as you can see here, it's got really great graphics and pretty good production values. And as you can see, the action is very hectic and often it gets pretty tough. They throw a lot of enemies at you, but it's definitely a unique game. It's also a unique take on a third-person shooter and definitely worth a look. All right, guys, well, let's a quick look at some more PlayStation 1 hidden gems, and I actually have enough for probably at least 1 or 2 more of these videos, so be on the lookout for them. Also, I want to give a shout out to Reggie, who I did the previous PS1 hidden gems videos with. When I came up with this list, I sent it to him and asked him what he thought, and he gave it the official thumbs up, so that's a good sign. But like I said, I got more videos coming soon. All right, guys, thanks very much for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and take care. Hey guys, Metal Jesus here, and welcome to a part of my game room that I don't always show on my channel, but actually I use it quite a bit. Now, many of you know that I love collecting big box PC games, specifically games from the 80s and 90s, and often I get questions as to how I play those games. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you the 3 computers that I use to play those games.
In September of 2018, Marvel's Spider-Man released for PlayStation 4. It was extremely well received by both critics and fans, breaking sales records in its first week and placing on several publications' end-of-year best-of lists. It also received a lot of praise for doing a great job of capturing New York City. But although Spider-Man's New York City is relatively accurate for a game, it's not a one-to-one copy. For example, at the corner of Canal Street and Church Street, where in real life there is a post office, in Spider-Man there's a movie theater. And at that movie theater lies the game's most infamous Easter egg. A real-life marriage proposal gone horribly wrong. But there's a lot more to this story than most people would ever find out. So for today's video, let's take a look at what's become known as the saddest Easter egg. This video is sponsored by Helix. Helix makes premium mattresses and bedding, custom fit to your needs and shipped right to your door. Everyone sleeps differently, so Helix has you take a sleep quiz to match your body type and your sleep preferences. I'm a side sleeper, so Helix set me up with a Sunset mattress. This year, Helix launched their newest and most high-end collection yet, the Helix Elite mattress. They put their years of extensive mattress expertise to use to create a truly elevated sleep experience. The Helix Elite collection includes 6 different mattress models that combine high-end luxury with personalized comfort tailored to your preferences. Helix delivers your mattress right to your door with free shipping in the US. It comes rolled up in a box and it's easy to set up. And to make sure you love your Helix mattress, there's a 100 nights of sleep trial. You also get a 10-year warranty, as well as financing options and flexible payment plans. Also, Helix mattresses are fiberglass free. I love my Helix mattress, and I think you would too. If you're looking for a new bed, check out Helix Sleep. Their best sale of the year is running now. It's the perfect time to upgrade your sleep with 25% off a Helix mattress, plus a free sleep bundle. Click the link below or go to helixsleep.com/wang to find out more about this limited time offer. It's always been a rare privilege to get your name in a video game. I mean, yeah, you could work to get the high score and put your initials in. But there's few with the honor of being in the actual game. You got the contest winners who got their names on dog tags in Metal Gear Solid 2. Or how about the infamous Chris Houlihan room in A Link to the Past? Supposedly named after a Nintendo-powered contest winner who has never been found and may not actually exist. But for a woman named Maddie, getting her name in a video game was far from an honor. When people came across this movie theater marquee in Spider-Man for PS4, they probably thought it was a developer putting in a message for his girlfriend, or maybe even something to do with an upcoming quest in the game. Perhaps even a small piece of world building, because the best open world games create a sense that the world we're in doesn't revolve around us. It's a world filled with real people with lives going on that are totally irrelevant to the plot. But no, in this case there was a real Maddie. It just wasn't a game developer's Maddie. On May 10th of 2018, a Twitter user named Tyler, TopNotch1210, wrote a tweet at Insomniac Games tagging Spider-Man YouTuber Evan Falarka. "I need your help. This may be selfish, but I'm ready to propose to my girlfriend and want to do it in a big way. Insomniac Games, Brian Inthar, Bill Roseman, is there any way you can put an Easter egg of Madison, will you marry me, anywhere in the game? Now, people tweet these sorts of requests at content creators, game developers, all kinds of public figures all the time. Usually they go unnoticed or ignored, but this time there actually was a response from Insomniac Games. You sure she doesn't check your Twitter replies, dude? 100%, ooh smiley face. Sure you can wait until September 7th? We've just passed our 5 years in April, so I think she'll still be around in September, lol. God damn, that's some dramatic foreshadowing. Well, okay then, who are we to say no to love? DMing you and we will see if we can work something out. Also know that there's no special reason that the Twitter interface is Korean, that's just the version that's archived. So September 7th comes along and people are finding all kinds of Easter eggs in this game. References to Doctor Strange, GTA 4, Tomb Raider, and all kinds of others are being shared around. But there's no comment on the proposal until the 9th. That's when Tyler uploads a video to his YouTube channel entitled Spider-Man PS4 Easter Egg Meaning. In the video, he navigates to the movie theater and tells the story of how he spoke with Insomniac to set up the proposal. However, he says that 3 or 4 weeks prior, Maddie had broken up with him, left him for his brother, and said that she said this was not how she wanted to be proposed to. But regardless of how the proposal went, he said he's happy it made it into the game and the game itself has been helping him cope with this trying time. Now, in general, I think big public proposals in front of a lot of people are just not a good idea. It puts such an amount of pressure on the person being proposed to that they kind of feel forced to say yes. And if they still don't say yes, you look like such a massive bozo. And this right here goes well beyond the proposal at a restaurant. The game literally sold millions of copies in a couple days. It broke sales records for Sony. But according to a message Tyler sent to Kotaku, Maddie actually said that she wanted to be proposed to at a large convention. So in his mind, he was taking her idea and ramping it up a notch. Insomniac's art director, Jacinda Chu, offered to change the marquee for Tyler. At first he didn't want to change it, but eventually he said it would be nice to do a tribute to his grandmother, who was the first person to get him interested in Spider-Man. And now, of course, with this situation going massively viral, Maddie has become the biggest villain on the internet at this time. You know, how dare she leave this sweet boy who got her in the Spider-Man game.
Welcome to Larry's Arcade. Hey, get out of here, you little pesky idiots. Hey, get out of here, you little pesky idiots.
Bye.